This is why, brothers and sisters, even through the outcome, even though the outcome might seem to benefit Asa, at that time, the real reason for the test of loyalty was to see where his heart really was. And to see who he really trusted. In chapter 15, in the previous chapter, in verse 14 and 15, we see that the oath, we see the oath. We see this oath that was taken by the people of Judah, and their king. In verses 14 and 15 of chapter 15, in the book of 2 Chronicles read, "Then they took an oath before the Lord with a loud voice." This is the previous chapter, brothers and sisters. "With shouting and trumpets and ram's horns. And all Judah rejoiced at the oath. For they had sworn with all their heart and sought him with all their soul. And he was found by them, and the Lord gave them rest all around." Brothers and sisters, did Asa hold up on his part to always seek the Lord first when the situation seemed at its worst? No, he sought help from man and not from God. Back to chapter 16 and verse 10. And this question arises out of this because the second part in chapter 10, verse 10, it reads, "Then Asa was angry with the seer and put him in prison, for he was enraged at him because of this." Do you think Asa was mad at the seer because he was lying or because he was telling the truth? Because he knew it was the truth. He was so angry at the seer. He knew it was the truth. It was the cold truth. That's why it hurt him to hear that. And it was making him aware of it was the key thing too, because he already probably knew it, but then, when it was brought to his attention, that's when he knew where he was in the wrong. And another question on that would be, do you think King Asa had learned from his mistakes? Do you think he learned from his mistake even though the seer came to him and told him about that? He didn't. We'll see it. Let's go to verse 12 in the same chapter, and we'll see why he did. Verse 12, chapter 16, in the book of 2 Chronicles, it reads, "And in the 39th year of his reign," which is 3 years later, after the 36th year, because this was the 36th year when this happened, but now it's the 39th year of the reign, "Asa became diseased in his feet, and his malady was severe. Yet in his disease, he did not seek the Lord." Who did he seek, brothers and sisters? The physicians. The physicians. From one disgrace to the next. When another problem came along, the king's trust grew weaker and weaker. When we work out the muscles, the muscles that we use are getting stronger and stronger, brothers and sisters. When we work out and exercise. So, when we put our faith to the test, also, the results will depend on how much we use it. Either we will get stronger and stronger by trusting in the Lord, or the faith will grow weaker and weaker if we don't put our trust in God and if we put our trust in other things. Ask yourself these next set of questions, brothers and sisters. And the answers will tell you how much you are relying on the power of God. I'm going to ask these next set of questions. I want you to answer them according to yourself. How do you feel when the problems of life seem like too much to handle? Who are you going to turn to when bad times come along? How will you be ready the next time the enemy tries to pull your trust away from God and to the things of this world? Will you be happy afterwards with what you have decided? Are you going to listen to God's servants when they try to guide you with the Lord's word? Or will you persecute them because it's something that you may not want to hear? Will you hold up on your part of your pact with God to always be loyal to Him, even when the trials seem harder than we can handle? Or will the things of this world keep you from relying on the power of God? Don't look to your paycheck, brothers and sisters, to save you from this financial crisis. Don't put your trust in the possessions that you own to give you satisfaction that you seek. And don't listen to the naysayers in life, that you may come across who are trying to break that connection, that sacred connection that you have between you and the Father. But only rely on the power of God to get you through these tough times. Brothers and sisters, when God seeks those with a loyal heart, it's because He wants to show Himself strong. Strong on their behalf. Do you want God to show Himself strong in your life today, brothers and sisters?
Amen.
Amen. Trust, obey, and rely on the power of God with a loyal heart. And with the love of Jesus directing your paths, you will feel the power of God stronger than ever in your life. I would like to conclude this message with everyone rising. And let us read the first part of verse 9 of chapter 16 in the second book of Chronicles. Verse 9. Just the first part, brothers and sisters, we're going to read, "For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show Himself strong on behalf of those whose heart is loyal to Him." Let us read it 3 times. All together. Let's read it. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show Himself strong on behalf of those whose heart is loyal to Him. One more time, brothers and sisters. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show Himself strong on behalf of those whose heart is loyal to Him. One more last time, but mean it, brothers and sisters. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show Himself strong on behalf of those whose heart is loyal to Him. May God bless you, brothers and sisters.